This week on the Push Pull Legs podcast, we talk about the 3 peaks and how important consistent strength training was for her. A lad called the hypertrophy coach who's got some barbaric ideas about coaching. The medical medium and his celery juice. And who is the greatest ever movie character? Three, 2, 1, got my celery juice, Dan. Let's go.
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast with myself, Dammy.
And me, Tom Hall. What's going on?
I'm not surprised, mate. You probably need it after your long walk. You probably need some recovery. Do you know what I mean? After your long walk.
My long walk.
Bit more fat loss, or what is it? Cure cancer, or
cure cancer, cure lung cancer.
Does everything, doesn't it? Does everything. Celery juice.
Celery juice, 100% pure as well.
Yeah, it's just like a fail safe, isn't it? If you got some problems wrong with you, celery juice.
Celery juice.
Just celery juice.
I mean, celery's great, so juice it even better.
Yeah.
Why even bother chewing?
Exactly.
Just
go for it, mate. Just go for it.
Just do that. Apparently, it's a bit on trend. So a bit on trend.
Well, apparently, you say that, but I didn't even know that the name of the person that created it. I just knew trend. No, but no, mate. How was your little jaunt, your little walk?
My little walk. Yeah, it was good. It was. So as I said to you before, it was the hardest thing about doing that was, to anybody who didn't know, 3 peaks challenge. Meant to do it in like 24 hours. I think we just missed it. The hardest thing was the lack of sleep. I think
the hardest thing was probably for everyone else having to put up with you. Let's be honest.
100%. Yeah, realising being in a confined space and then a massive space, and me just kind of jumping around them for an extended period of time. Not good, is it? Not good. No bueno, mate.
Not at all. Feel for them.
But yeah, I mean, especially going from a plane, and then I had like two beers as soon as I got off in Glasgow, and then I felt drunk. This is the prelude to walking up Ben Nevis, Scafell Pike, and Snowdon. I had 2 beers, 3 beers, maybe 3 to 4 glasses of wine the night before. It's good.
That's good prep, mate.
Good prep.
It's nice to know you're taking it so seriously.
I was, seriously. It was good.
Yeah.
It was nice. I made it. We're good. But yeah, it was fun. It was just over the course of getting up at 5:30 to be ready to go to Ben Nevis, and then not getting back in London by maybe 6 p.m. the following Sunday. So what's that, about 36 hours? Within that 36 hours, I'm pretty sure I slept for maybe 2.5. Maybe. And that was intermittent. It was not like a solid 2.5 hours. But yeah, as you can tell in my voice, it's a little bit croaky. I'm not too sure. I think it was just lack of recovery.
Probably, mate. Yeah, but that's a hell of an effort, though. To be fair,
the numbers that came out, 75,000 steps, was fun over the course of 24 hours, I guess. 850-ish floors climbed, according to my MyZone, across the 3 peaks, walks.
That's what it's called, mate.
The 3 peaks. I burnt something like 10,000-ish calories, apparently. Which is quite good. It's all right, isn't it? All that uphill.
You need it, mate.
I know.
So.
I'm pretty sure I'm still in a deficit. No, definitely not. But it was interesting, like how we were fueling ourselves. Like people were like, "Hi," and you realise. So our guide, bless him, this guy called Mike, and I'm convinced I didn't actually see him eat anything at all, and then I only saw him drink Iron Brew, Coke, and Fanta. That's it. He didn't do it. He literally just fueled himself on that. That's it.
It's obviously the way to do it. He's the expert, mate.
He's the guy. He was just jumping up, going straight up, just non-stopping.
Are you sure it wasn't celery juice?
I don't know. He might have that in his backpack.
Must have been celery juice,
yeah,
I reckon.
Definitely in there somewhere. But yeah, it was good fun. I enjoyed myself. I think so. Ben Nevis was gorgeous weather, absolutely beautiful, and it was the first one, so we were like buzzing, going straight up. Second one, it was like after about 7 hours on the coach, so we missed the target because obviously we'd hired a company to put us up for the night and then to drive us, and we had two guides that were with us the whole time, and then each mountain we had like a specialist guide who knew the routes a little bit better. But also we hired a coach for like, I don't know, we had like double seat each basically, but it was still probably meant for about 30, 35 people. Like one of those smaller, not kind of like the 50 people like bus coaches that you normally see, but like slightly smaller than that. But it's like the driver has to change, and then legally they have to stop when they're driving for like half an hour at a time after every 3 or 4 hours or something like that. That kind of set us back. I think if that didn't happen, and if one of us was driving, we just chopped and changed, we would have got there. So
I'd have given you that on technicality then. I'd have given you that.
Yeah, so I think it was just that. We did all the climbing in the allotted time available, which was fun. And then Scarfell Pike we had to do in the dark. That was fun.
But that was the worst. The last one's going to be the worst, isn't it?
The Snowdon was the worst, because that was... I think it was just because we got to about 2/3 to 3/4 of the way up, and then the clouds just descended. So 2 of the guys in our group didn't make it. They had to turn back.
They didn't make it!
It was like, we left them.
Die.
They're still there somewhere. So apparently the guides have a rule of they have to bring 90% of the people they go up with back. That's just
90%.
90%.
Well, they could just leave them up there.
They'd be like, if they do like a head count, and they're like, I got 90%, we can go.
I'd want that rule to be 100%.
Yeah, I'd be like, at least 100% when we go through. But yeah, we got to like 3/4 of the way up Snowdon, and then the clouds just descended on us, and then our visibility was like, I showed it to Dan, it must have been about, I don't know, probably couldn't see past like 7-8 metres in front of you. And then, then it started pissing down with rain. And going down a mountain when it's raining, when you're not mountain people, bit tough. I'm not a big fan.
Oh, mate. All you need is your minimus shoes. You should be fine. You'll be fine. Your minimus shoes, walk down there, no problem at all, mate. I reckon it'll be easy.
Easy, mate. Absolutely fine.
Must be. They make it look easy on all the adverts for those minimus shoes. You can do trail runs and all sorts.
Trail runs? That is true. Was it fell running? Those fell runs, we saw some up and down like Nevis. They're mental. They are. They just go as the crow flies.
Yeah, of course they are, mate. They run for enjoyment.
And like apparently the record for running up and down Nevis, like a good time is like 5 hours, and apparently somebody can do it in like 1 hour 40. They just run up and down it.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely bonkers. But yeah, it was good. It was.
Why would you do that? Why would anyone do that?
I'm not too sure. But yeah, it was good fun. But what we wanted to go on from that was what I started to notice and what Dan started to notice. Probably
how easy you found it. Is that what
how easy? Yeah, it was just blast, mate. Easy. I was jumping all over the place in my element, as you say. Mountain goat me. Yeah. No.
But
it was kind of looking around and looking at the people who were kind of, I don't know, decent at it and didn't seem to find it that tough, and it was just the recovery that was tough. Was the people, obviously my clients were great. They all completed it. We're all good. Doug was like, failing every single step. But it was the people who consistently strength train were the ones who could just go and stay at a pace, and nothing would really bother them. They'd find it tough, but they'd be like, it's kind of mind over matter, but they knew they had nothing mechanically was stopping them. It was just maybe it got a little bit aerobically tough every now and again for a particularly steep climb, but they were like, I know I can get there. It's just like, got to take a minute to pant, and then it's like muscles were never going to let them down. And it just relayed to me that even something like that, and trust me, I did 2 incline walks to prep, and then I walked home.
That was it.
That was just to get a sensation of what it feels like to walk uphill for 2 hours. Yeah,
I think things like that, people would always assume, wouldn't they? Like, oh, you've just got to be good at doing that one thing. Like, I had a client who he's doing like a firefighter's test, and he's got to do 1.5 mile run twice, I think. 1 quick, 1 medium. Like, he has to do certain paces on it. Yeah. And then he's got 1 like 2 minute, as many push-ups as he can test. And he's like, oh, what do you think I should do? Do you think I should practice it? And I was like, well, do some push-ups and whatever. And he plays football as well. But I was like, you'll find that from just being stronger, you're going to be better at it than you were before. You just won't, you won't really. It'll feel a bit weird because you won't have done it, but you'll be surprised how well you'll do. And I think, like we talked about before the show, is like, I think strength's just massively underrated. And I was saying I'm playing basketball later today. And just from practicing and doing that, like, I've not done any cardio at all, but I'm still not anywhere near like the average fitness. I'm probably one of the fitter people there. And these guys play basketball far more often than I do, and I can still jump a lot higher than some people my height and all this sort of stuff. And it's because I just strength train. And it's just amazing how I think, it's a case of you can really find that it's a good way of doing things. You don't have to necessarily just train specifically for your sport, and I do think it's massively overlooked by a lot of people who do cardio-based things or whatever.
Oh, 100%. I think we've relayed in needs analysis for sports before, and I think we've talked about it, where we probably edge on the side of 70, 75, 80% of the training. It's all fucking similar, and then the rest of it is somewhat, I'm using air quotes, sport specific. You try and control movements of certain muscle groups that might get overused, etc. But the strength training, it's just paramount to what should be happening. And that's just upper lower core stuff. It's just foundational crap that I think we've just done for the last. How old are you? You're pretty old, aren't you?
Very old, mate.
Very old. And probably the last 10 years, you've just been boom, 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 doing it, and probably will have the lasting effects for quite a while as well.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll be the guys when we're 50 that we're actually weird. They'll call it old man strength, but you'll be weirdly strong for how old you are. At the age of 50, and they'll be like, "What? How do you do that?" It's like strength trained all of my life, just consistently. It doesn't mean I'm always hitting a 5-3-1 cycle or always doing max reps or a conjugate.
No,
method.
but it'll be there. Yeah,
but it's just going to be there. The fact is, I'm probably always going to hit 1 or 2 exercises per week that are just going to be in the 4 to 6 range, and I don't know, 90%, 95% intensity, and that's it. It doesn't have to be anything more than that. And that's consistent strength training. Mad.
That's it. It's crazy, isn't it?
Accumulate, mate. Accumulate volume.
Big word, accumulate.
Thank you.
But yeah, no, I think like you say, stuff like that does show. And I think people, I get clients realise that sometimes I'm not doing stuff for a year, and they'll be like, "Oh, actually, I played football for the first time in ages, and actually I was all right."
Yeah.
They didn't blow up and stuff like that. So it's
they didn't blow up.
Well, no, you know what I mean. Blow up, their lungs blow up. Actually blow up like a bomb.
That's what's going on in my head, mate.
Yeah, I know that's what's going on in your head, mate.
Very visual. Just relaying the thoughts that everybody was good on the walk. Pretty much made it without the weather. Would have happened. But yeah, strength train, and apparently you can just power for anything. Don't need to train that much. Twice a week, it's fine. If that. I haven't trained for a week, but I count the thing on the weekend as training.
Yeah, it should count as training.
It should count, shouldn't it? It's a lot of volume. 75,000 steps.
It's good work, mate. Well done.
It's good. I think it's quite a lot. So my calves should be jacked.
Yeah, they're not massive already.
I think that's all I should do, right? I should just have absolutely massive calves now.
Yeah.
Quite big Achilles tendons, so that's why I bounce a lot.
Bouncy.
Calves at the top, mate. If you've got a big Achilles tendon and this long thin bit at the bottom, and your calf only starts at the top, you're probably predispositioned to a lot of bouncing and sprinting. What? Dan doesn't. Yeah.
I got that, mate. Don't you worry about it.
It's true thing, guys. Everybody's looking at their calves now and been like, "What? Is that really true?" Yeah, it is. Right, mate. You want to talk about somebody called the hypertrophy coach? You need his advice. That's why I follow him. Let's be honest. I enjoyed your bite back on my. You actually took it kind of well. When I said you were really small on your asking, I thought you were just going to go off on a rant against me. I was looking to debate you.
No, not at all. Mate.
It's really annoying. I was like, damn it, he actually kind of came back with a nice answer.
Yeah, he did. The hypertrophy coach, he's a good guy to follow on Instagram. Posts a lot of good stuff and a lot of good exercises and things like this. But this one is something we talked about before, I suppose, and I wanted to bring it up. More so as a reminder to any coaches listening or PTs listening that this is what the industry thinks and this is what people think. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I don't agree with it necessarily, but I'm just reminding you that this is what the industry thinks. So the picture is just a thing written on his notes. And it says, out of shape coaches arguing about which exercise variation is better, to me, is a bit like dentists missing teeth arguing about which brand of floss is better. And he's posted quite a long caption here, basically saying how the first time he went to Biosignature with Charles Poliquin. Well, obviously he's not that clever, is he, if he went to biosignature, which is absolutely fucking ridiculous. But basically he got his body fat taken and he got criticised and basically fat shamed by Charles Poliquin in front of loads of people. He then went back a year later and looked better, and basically gained loads of muscle, lost body fat, and basically said, I implemented everything Poliquin taught me, or whatever, and I look loads better. And he basically says that trainers should be in shape. And when I first read the post, I was a little bit like, I was like, fucking this again. And I think he's edited it because it's not quite as what I remember it to be. But basically, yeah, not quite as brash. He basically said it in as many words. But he basically said that you need to be able to, as a coach, you need to be able to produce results through effort, adherence, long-term consistency. And if you can't do that yourself, then you can't do it at all. And he basically, there's people in the comments being like, well, what about all these American football coaches that never ever played American football, weren't very good, that are now fucking incredible? And what about all the prep coaches that prep people and now aren't in the same shape they were in before? It's kind of that whole thing of like, it's ridiculous. And it's just a ridiculous thing to say. But then I think he changed it because I think he basically has said, as long as you're doing your best, that's okay. That's kind of like all you can ask for, but you should be basically adhering to and striving to be the best you can possibly be in your like effort and all that sort of stuff, whether it's, I suppose, learning things or this sort of thing. It's he's put, again, it's not about a specific size or body fat. It's about knowing what your personal best is. And I think it's like, well, I disagree with that. I think it's ridiculous. I think your ability to coach someone, motivate them, keep them adhering to a plan has no impact. Your body shape or size has no impact on that whatsoever. But I just wanted to highlight it because I wanted all the trainers out there to know that is how the industry will judge you, unfortunately. And I've said it before. I think as a trainer, I think it's useful to be in some sort of shape. Whether it's you train hard, whether you do all that sort of stuff. I think you need to have the lifestyle, or you need to have a physique that some people would aspire to, or some people would aspire to be in the position you're in. Like, so for myself, for example, I am in no like great shape at the moment, but for my life situation, I think a lot of people would like to be in the position I'm in, where they can maintain their physique, they look all right, they're not ridiculously fat, they can lift a couple of times a week safely, feel strong, feel quite good with it, play some sport, but ultimately not live their life like a bodybuilder, and fit in a pair of size 30-inch jeans, for example. I think a lot of people would aspire to that, but it's just remembering that as a trainer,
I got no chance of fitting 30-inch jeans, mate.
You?
Yeah.
Oh, unlucky, mate. I've just got a small waist, but yeah, I just think it's funny because like, obviously all the comments are just like, oh, so don't take a football advice from someone because he doesn't look like a football player. And they're like, no. And then he was like, no, that's obviously a performance-based outcome. But again, well, he can't throw the ball 90 yards anymore, or ever. He's maybe never been able to do it, but he can still coach a quarterback. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't add up. And again, like, you don't know, that dentist may have had a genetic condition that caused all their teeth to fall out. Doesn't make them a bad dentist. Do you know? It's that whole thing of like, you can't judge people based on how they look or whatever, and all that sort of stuff. But they will. People will judge you on that. You'll get judged on that. So just remember that.
We've been through it before, and I think we've always said it's not paramount to. It's like practice what you preach kind of stuff. But especially if you're in person, I think some people, like what you said, some mental mad clients will aspire to look like that, and that's the people that you're also going to attract. They're going to be the people you're going to work with, and they kind of see that what you're doing is good, and that's going to happen. But it doesn't mean that you have to be in perfect shape at all. But it will be used as a source of marketing, no matter what. Mm-hmm. What you think about it, it will be. So it's just that we know as coaches it doesn't affect your ability, number one, to coach at all. Like, no. You can look like Jabba the Hutt. You could be the best coach in the world, but you can have all the external cueing factors. You'd be able to say the right keywords for some people to move exactly, and it resonates with them.
As long as you can motivate
personal.
people, as long as you can motivate people to be better, I think that's the thing he's trying to get at. Really, it's that whole thing of like other people can be motivated by things other than someone's appearance.
Yeah.
Like you could, like again, like I think that's why some of the great coaches who don't look the part but have had very successful transformations with people, that's the motivation for that client. And go, well, I know this person knows I'm going to be in shape, regardless of what they look like. That's why I think a lot of, like I say, the football coaches and stuff do well, is because people work with them and go, oh, they're a great coach. And they know that they respect that person as a player and that person respects that coach. So it kind of works that way. I don't know. I just think it's shit. Because like I said, like Ben Bruno, he doesn't look like the strongest guy in the world, but seeing him single leg Bulgarian squat 120 kilos is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just like, it doesn't matter what you look like. And I'd say that someone's brains and whatever is far more important. But it's just funny. I just think it's funny for him as well. Like, I just think it's, he's in an industry and a job where clearly he takes drugs and all that sort of stuff. And I just think it's going down that route of just like, really though? Like, because then people are just going to start taking drugs to look better. And it's like, at what point do you stop that and go, oh, well, actually, how do you stop? Where do you stop with that and go, well, so-and-so's taking drugs and they look the part, but actually their training is shit, their actual effort is shit, their diet is shit, versus someone who may be a natural bodybuilder in an off-season who's got everything on point but doesn't look as good. And it's like, but their effort and their consistency day to day is more than the person on drugs. The person on drugs can kind of cheat it because it's like, well, they're on drugs. And that's where I think the whole argument falls down for me, is that he can't say that and sit there and say that because he's got an easier time of it because he's on drugs. And then it comes down to, well, as a trainer, are you willing to take drugs? Does that make you a better trainer because you're on drugs? It's ridiculous. Like, and that for me, that's the frustration from the post, and that's where I kind of lose a bit of respect for him in what he's saying. Based on that, is that you're judging all this based on from a trainer who set up biosignature, which is fucking useless and pointless, from a guy who's on drugs, and who was on drugs. Plus, this guy's on drugs, and he's claiming that, and I'm just like, sorry, it doesn't wash with me. Like, it doesn't work. I think you're setting a very bad precedent for people in the industry who look up to you to go, well, I better start taking drugs then because I've got to look the part, and that's ridiculous.
Then the chances are you're going to spend so much time being so self-absorbed about looking better, the clients you do have, then you're getting your full support.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I'm focusing on me at the moment. All right.
Yeah, and I think he just tried to kind of say it as a bit of like, again, he's tried to do as long as you're doing your best, your actions, need to be the best and all this sort of stuff. But again, I think it's very easy to lie about that. It's very easy to, like I said, take drugs, train a couple of times a week and say that you do everything perfectly because you're still going to look like you do. I just think it's just poor from me. That's just my opinion. I mean, someone can tell me otherwise. But like I say, he knows. Like, knows his stuff. Like, clearly knows his stuff. But it doesn't make him. He goes a lot into like the mechanics stuff of movements, right? Like the guy from Integra. Yeah. And again, if you had those two guys together, side by side on an Instagram post, who are you going with a poll, who are you going to listen to for muscle building advice? People would probably say this guy. But actually, the guy from Integra probably knows. Yeah. Michael Golden probably knows far more than him about mechanics of movement and resistance training, but he's not called the hypertrophy coach. So it's like it's that whole thing of, again, marketing, the visual aspect of it all. Like I said to you, as a coach, that's unless you're fucking very, very smart and you can put that out there and show that. Unfortunately, people in this industry, in this world, will judge you for how you look. It's a shame, but it's just another way. I just wanted to highlight that to people. It's just another example.
Before, like, obviously, when say James Krieger, Brad Schoenfeld, and like Brett Contreras all meet up, and then I've seen some memes from people who obviously a little bit of hatred in the industry. It's like, why are these guys like the poster boys for bodybuilding research?
Yeah,
like none of them are massive, and you're like, hang on a minute, no, but they're super intelligent. They're doing the research. They know what they need to be doing. Why do they need to be massive to be researchers in bodybuilding? And probably they're probably not the best coaches in the world, but they're phenomenal what they do in terms of producing research and results. This is just mental. It's like, no, you can't be researchers in bodybuilding because you don't bodybuild. It's like, well, I do, but
yeah, exactly. It's that whole thing, isn't it? And it's like I said, I just think it's an interesting discussion because it's like I said, unfortunately, you're going to get judged. And like I said, I know as well as anyone that you're going to get judged on how you look and all this sort of stuff. And I think the one thing I've learned over the last year from biceps and banter and working, I suppose, that way, is that the more I focused on being an example for the people that I wanted to work with, the better I feel I connect with people. I connect with people who don't want to fucking train 5 times a week, eat out of Tupperware, take all the supplements, train every single day, because I don't want to do that. And because I'm portraying a lifestyle whereby I can still like train and enjoy what I'm doing, get in shape, and I get my clients in shape doing the same things that I would do, or my philosophy on how it should be done. Relaxing, chilling out, not stressing about all the minutiae. It's really helped align with people that want to work with me. And that's all he's doing. That's all he's doing, right? He's not daft. I get that. He's trying to reach an audience of people who think that way. And again, I think that's the whole thing with understanding the online world and people's opinions and stuff, is that you have to know who you're talking to. You have to know what they want to achieve. You have to speak in the language they want to speak in. And that's what makes a good coach. Don't get me wrong, and I think he knows what he's doing with that. But it was just my way of saying to any new trainer in the industry,
to any trainer in the industry who's got a little bit of...
Yeah, to any random person that you see on the street or goes on your Instagram profile, they're going to judge you on that. That's what they're going to do.
So it's annoying, but then maybe they're not the people you want to work with. The chance.
Exactly that.
If they're judging that, then yeah, it's fine. So,
yeah.
Then nobody's calling our pages and being like, "Yeah, amazing, this guy's ripped." I mean, the guy keeps trying to sell me drugs. So
yeah, maybe
he contacted me again last week.
Did he? Did he say thanks for talking about my new podcast? I messaged that guy so we can set that date up for that podcast.
Oh, that's cool.
To talk about
drugs.
Yeah. Find out more about them.
Oh,
Tom's like making a shopping list.
Which one? Which one do I need on that one? Bigger biceps. Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. This one goes straight to your biceps.
All right, wonderful.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
All right, Dan. You didn't reply to my poll, and I'm convinced you didn't reply to my question on my Instagram, because I don't know whether you do. You don't even watch it. It's fine.
No, I don't, because I got told to unfollow anyone that makes you feel bad on social media, so I just stopped it.
Did you?
No, I wasn't doing that.
Was that your mum?
Mate, there's no stories to watch on there.
Oh, it was from yesterday though.
I can't see it now, mate, unfortunately.
So it was interesting. I'd like to hear your thoughts, because there was a few weird ones. On what did I ask? The greatest movie character of all time. Who would you? So I went for, which is might have been a bit biased, because I went to the Royal Albert Hall on Monday.
No.
To see The Empire Strikes Back with a live orchestra. Which good, really cool. Yeah. But I was going Han Solo would be my greatest movie character of all time.
I think
so. Some of the ones here I was very questionable. Well, the argument was Ali was going for Iron Man, which
nah.
We got like The Mask, bit weird, very strange. Dr. King Schwartz, he's from Django, decent. Stifler.
Ooh, that's a shout. I reckon I'm going to go with
Buddy the Elf. Mental.
I'm going to go with Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street.
Ooh,
I think that's got a little there.
See, I was like, Dan's not going to have anything decent, because I'm convinced that you don't like movies for some weird reason.
I do, mate. I watched Star Wars with it. I got Isabel into Star Wars.
I know. I saw that.
On, yeah. What a result that is.
We need to watch the next one, right?
Well, I knew that as soon as I put on Return of the Jedi with the Ewoks on, she'd be all over it, and she was. And then she was like, right, she wants to watch Luke Skywalker all the time now.
Of course.
But yeah, I think I do watch movies. Just I've just started watching, because people keep raving about it. It's Top Boy. Just started that. It's very good so far. Top Boy. I'm on the first series of that.
Okay, wonderful. I do need a new series, so Top Boy.
Yeah, Top Boy on Netflix. Yeah, because the second series is out apparently. So it's like, I thought I'd go back and watch the first. Obviously, watch the first one.
Interesting.
But yeah, I think Jordan Belfort in Wolf of Wall Street is one of the best characters. Just from a point of view of a character that's just like you can just doing whatever he wants. Like, but actually, the thing I like about that is that he actually was a real person. So like, whereas Iron Man's never real, right? It's not real. Han Solo's not real. Whereas I think because it's almost like watching
could be real. Could be.
Yeah. It could have been, could have been based on real life. I think because you watch that and go, it probably happened exactly like that. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah, I think I'd go him.
You go him. What actor though as well? Because obviously I've gone for like Harrison Ford. Would you go
Leonardo DiCaprio, isn't it?
Yeah, DiCaprio, greatest actor.
I don't watch many classic films and stuff like that.
I just think, for Harrison Ford to have 3 of the biggest ever franchises, he's just killed it in terms of Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and Blade Runner. No, he wanted out because the Millennium Falcon kept falling on him.
Because he got injured, didn't he?
And he's old as fuck. But my mum still loves him. So Harrison, if you're listening, my mum.
He's listening.
My mum loves you.
Oh, he's listening.
My mum absolutely loves you.
Yeah, I reckon any woman of that age group, that generation, would love him.
I think so. Yeah. Pretty much. We got the medical medium. Apparently, this is what the celery juice thing was going on about. So we got to talk about this. It's made the BBC. BBC trending, no less.
Just 9 months too late.
So, according to the BBC, so you can look it up. So, celery juice, big problem with a viral Instagram cure. Instagram follower with an Instagram influencer, with millions of followers, host of celebrity endorsements, claims that drinking celery juice can cure chronic illnesses. Doesn't have any medical qualifications, and doctors say many of his claims about celery and other vegetables and fruits aren't backed up by science. Shock.
Yeah, shock. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Apparently, then they like to say celery juice isn't actually bad for you. It is low in calories and has a decent amount of vitamin K. No shit. Wonderful.
Yeah, you're not going to die drinking it. No. But likewise, you're not going to be cured of all your diseases either.
He's got like 2 million Instagram followers, 3.4 million on Facebook, over 100,000 YouTube subscribers.
Do you know what that tells me? There's a lot of people out there who are fucking gullible.
Yeah,
who believe anything just to hear.
So this twat is the medical medium. His real name is Anthony William. So don't mind calling that out. Absolutely fine. He's got a slightly bigger following than us, I think. Then just a bit.
Oh, only a little bit, mate. Give it a couple of weeks.
So, but endorsements from Novak Djokovic, the Kardashians, shock. Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh my god!
Shock. Of course,
I saw a video the other day of someone giving the Kardashians like a spiritual thing, and he was going like this around their heads, right, waving his hands around their heads, and he was going, he's like, "You're deficient in copper." And she went, and I was like, no, like don't fall for this shit.
FYI, I've got this copper supplement that I've just brought out.
Yeah. I've got all these supplements that've got copper in, by the way.
Shit. I thought she was going to go like brain power or something like that, and be like,
ridiculous, mate. Yeah.
Gwyneth Paltrow is a big one for that, right? Who's the girl that she follows? Tracy Anderson. Oh, yeah. The Tracy Anderson method. So she's awful. Do not listen to Gwyneth Paltrow for any kind of advice ever. Like dietary, nutrition, or training, or otherwise.
Life, anything.
Naming children, awful. So we got celery helps cure. What have we got? So raspberries remove.
Doesn't help cure anything. So, let's just get that straight.
Raspberries remove viral debris from the bloodstream. Pretty good.
Ridiculous.
The celery juice helps cure. So we've got lung cancer, chronic illnesses. Some word I can't really say. My voice doesn't go croaky. Absolutely mental. But so calls himself the medical medium, and also it's about those fake cancer cure videos. He's one of those people who put that up on YouTube, and they got absolutely denounced for it. What was it labelled? Mystery illnesses. So absolutely bonkers. So doctors. So this lad called Dr. Chiang is starting to call for a load of doctors to be more active on social media to call this kind of stuff out, which.
Oh yeah, because they got all the time in the world. Doctors
busy like helping actual people.
Yeah.
Real life.
Just sorry, I can't come into surgery. I'm just on Instagram. Just in an argument with someone online. Ridiculous. No, it's not. It's the job of Instagram to go on there and go, "This is clearly ridiculous."
Or Instagram employ some sort of nutritional doctor for this kind of stuff. And that's their job to filter through, or researcher.
Well, they have, haven't they? Recently, they've started doing that, haven't they? You've seen Instagram have started.
Good.
Changing their policy, but basically all they've done, it sounds great, but all they've done is basically made some of the posts that people under the age of 18 can't view them.
Yeah.
I was like, well, most kids who go on Instagram wouldn't put their real age anyway. They put 18 anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And all you do is press the button on it, and it just says reveal it, and you reveal it, and you can read the caption. So it's not like it's gone.
Not crazy, is it? But so celery juice can provide relief from illnesses including cancer and diabetes. No, it can't. So this lad, it's obviously called the medical medium because so in one of his YouTube videos, he gets all his medical information from a spirit. So this is the actual quote. When I was 4 years old, I heard a voice. 4 years old. He remembers.
Yeah, well, Isabel hears voices, mate. Because she talks to all her toys, so I imagine she hears voices.
She's not even 4 yet. So
no.
Wait till she's 4.
In a week.
Yeah, exactly. I heard a voice. I am the spirit of the Most High. There is none above me but God himself. Wonderful.
That was just his dad that said that, I reckon. His dad just said it in the other room, like through a little code.
Yeah, just through like an empty toilet roll. I'm just like, ooh, that sounds like Can you hear me? Absolutely. He describes in the video that at a young age, the spirit told him his grandmother had lung cancer, and then the secrets have not been surfaced to how they finally heal this, and he will reveal the truth about chronic illnesses. He won't heal anywhere else. And obviously what happened was, this spirit told him that his grandma had lung cancer. His grandma drank some celery juice and then basically never got lung cancer. And he thinks that the spirit was right, and he thinks these voices he heard, basically, that's what he's thinking, I think. Because this spirit who's only God above him is coming to tell people to drink celery juice. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Just take a step back. That's what's happening. And this lad, person who would have had a
so what was it? 4.3 million? Was it?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's 4.3 stupid people. 4.3 million stupid people. If you're listening to this, and you're one of them. I hope you're following him just to troll him.
Yeah, 100%.
Otherwise, there's no other reason to be following him.
It's crazy, mate. Absolutely crazy. Talking of crazy, I got sent a post by a gym, not by the gym, by a person, about the fat burners that another gym.
Oh yeah, the detox fat loss stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. How is that still a thing? Just in case anybody knows, fat burners work, right then?
They do, mate. Of course they work. Clenbuterol works. T3 works. They're fat burners, aren't they? Oh no, they're not fat burners. No, they're drugs. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Not detox drinks or celery juice. Ridiculous.
No.
But you know what? People will jump on it, won't they? Brands, businesses will jump on anything to make a bit of money.
Yeah, I just find it completely unethical. It's just mental.
It is unethical, but I think at the same time there's also that element in it of just like...
in the business of making money.
Yeah, just don't fucking believe it. I'm not being funny, but if a crazy person stopped you in the street and said, take this celery juice, you'll get cured of cancer, you wouldn't do it. But yeah, because someone on Instagram's done it, and they've got Novak Djokovic to say it works, you're going to take it. Ridiculous. Again, it comes down... I know it's a bit going off on a bit of a tangent here, but it does come down to the whole appearance thing. It's like a confidence thing.
Yeah.
Again, like if someone... Like I said, no offence to homeless people. I'm not going to listen to this. I'm not going to get offended. But again, if they come up to you offering you something, you'd be like, I'm all right, thanks, mate. Like that, you'd be like, I'm all right, thanks. But someone in a suit opposite to you with Novak Djokovic on their arm going, Novak says it's good. You go, it is, though. It is that whole confidence thing of just like, if you're brash enough to say it and people believe it in yourself, people will believe you. And that's the whole thing, like, with cults, right? That's the whole thing is when cults come around. Is that they're charismatic speakers that just say something over and over again. People believe them.
Yeah.
So you've got to question what you believe, really.
I think so. At some point, don't be a purist. Take information, like the coaching. Take information from everywhere. Make up your own mind. You'll probably be alright. Trust your own values.
Yeah, and I mean, what a way to end it.
I mean, own your own choices, Dan.
Own your own choices, mate. Innit?
Boom. There we go. And speaking of recovery, one of Dan's clients sent me a thing about Whoop bands, and I am interested in possibly getting one just to see. Because obviously my recovery was terrible. Whoop. I think it's called Whoop. Whoop band. Yeah. Stupid name. But I don't know. I'm not good for things around my wrists. It's not a watch. So it'll be interesting to see. But I don't want to get the equivalent. It's like an Aura ring. Because I just don't wear rings. No,
they're too chunky, those Aura rings. I looked at one, but I was like, I'm not really going to make use of any of the information from it. So no.
I think it'll be interesting. I'd like to trial it just to see. And we give it a review. Because I think that it's gathering steam. Garrick-Stein. I was about to say Garrick.
Yeah, wearable tech is going to be the next over the next few years the big thing that people are going to.
I think people relatively, and as Danny said, I like science, so I mean I might be interested in that. So
you might be, mate.
I
well, if you like science, mate, the celery juice.
Celery juice, I've got to look at that.
That's
so
right,
I'm pretty sure I should do my recovery based off celery juice consumption.
Probably.
More than likely. Interesting, mate. Any other business?
No other business from me. No, only. No, that's it really. Oh, me and Mike have started the Biceps of Banter podcast, but we're not allowed to talk about it on here. We're not allowed to talk about it on here, probably. But to be fair, we realised this. We set it up, and we set it up in the fitness, like nutrition section, but we realised we don't talk about it. So that was a waste of time. We should have put it in the comedy section. But yeah, basically we just.
You can change that, mate.
I think we can change it. Yeah, but we basically just highlight weird and wonderful news stories from around the world each week. It's not fitness related. It's very, very light-hearted. It's very casual. It's only 30 minutes, no longer than that, because it just rambles on otherwise with the news stories. Not like proper content like this one. It is just us basically reading funny stories and having a laugh and a joke. So go have a listen to that if you want something light-hearted.
There we go. And if you struggle in finding it, I'm sure it'll be on the subscribers also subscribe to, or more related to at the bottom of this week.
Actually, probably, yeah. And the other thing as well is thank you to everyone who has given a rating and review for this podcast. If you haven't yet done it for this podcast, please go and do it because it's really helpful. I forgot how much of a nice feeling it is to get people to leave a rating, leave a little review. It's quite nice. Yeah, it's just I think
I don't know how many we got.
We've got 135, Tom.
135.
Yeah, I think it's just nice to know that
more than most, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is. It's nice. It is nice. But no, I just think it's nice to know that people are enjoying it. I think that's because obviously we haven't had that many reviews in the last 10 months. All the reviews are from before, and it's nice to know people still enjoy it. Do you know? Nice. But the other thing as well, speaking of reviews, last thing is that we got a 3-star review on the Biceps Banter one, and Mike was
3 stars.
It's not about it's like why do people leave reviews that something's average? He's like, I never want to get home and go, oh, I really need to tell people how average this was. You either love it or you hate it. Don't leave a review. And I said to him, someone must have just slipped. They meant 3, they meant 5, they slipped on 3. It's fine, don't worry about it. But I was like, what a weird score to give. The 4, it's like, what are you doing? 5 at this level, it's 5 or 1, right?
5 or 1, 100%. It's just if in doubt, pick C. It's fine. Just
quite funny.
I might just do that to troll you. Where is it?
Yeah. Brilliant. So yeah, that's the end of the business really. So it'll be in the link tree on my Instagram profile. It's there, but it will also probably be around there. Like Tom said, people who listen to this also listen to thing on the Apple thing.
On the Apple thing, I'm sure.
Podcasts,
Apple. It's already there. Just if you've got an iPhone, it's already there. You don't have to do anything. Just click on the thing that says podcast.
Easy,
mate. Yeah, nothing from me, mate. Absolutely, just working.
You go recover from your walk, mate.
I know. Take a dog next time. More fun.
Yeah.
All right. We'll catch you. Yeah, next week.
Yeah. See you later.
Right.